Yes, people, we are back. Your boy Osama, DJ 72, Britishnerdz. What's up? How's everyone doing? Finally, starting to catch up on all my TV shows. I've just watched basically all of the episodes of Crisis on Infinite Earths, which we'll be talking about in the next few seconds. I'm about to catch up on the Blacklist, and after that, The Mandalorian, or vice versa. To be honest, I really can't go into much depth about Crisis on Infinite Earths because to be honest with you, I've only seen one episode of Supergirl. I've only seen one episode of Arrow, and that was because John Constantine was on there, and I enjoyed the whole Constantine TV series until it got cancelled. Never seen an episode of The Flash in my life. I haven't watched any of the DC TV shows, but I wanted to get stuck in basically into this crossover because, of course, the man himself, Tom Welling, who plays Clark Kent in Smallville, basically, made his appearance, his cameo within the TV show. And as I was watching the TV show, I enjoyed it. So I'm going to be watching the rest of it when it airs, I believe, on January the 11th, and I believe finishes on January the 14th, I think. But don't quote me on that. Google it yourselves. But overall, as for a crossover for a TV show, as a crossover story, I really enjoyed it. It was cool. It was fun. I enjoyed it. I really did enjoy the crossover. It was so cool to see Supergirl, to see Superman, to see all of the other characters basically in this TV show, and of course the Flash, Batwoman, and all of the characters basically that I've just kind of forgot to mention because I'm trying to remember all the characters' names and I've just messed it up. Let's just say I enjoyed it. Overall, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was well done. It was nice. It was fun. It was dark. The episode where they went basically into one of the Earths, and they found basically the Bruce Wayne, who was a total, literally Dark Knight. He was a beast. He killed everyone. He even killed the Joker. He killed Clark Kent, and it was nice to see that element of Bruce Wayne being, of course, being injected into this crossover. Of course, seeing Lucifer meeting Constantine, that was so cool, so amazing. I love Lucifer. I haven't seen the whole complete series, but like I said, I'm a big fan of John Constantine in regards to the TV show, and I've read a few of the comics, so I loved it. But obviously for me, the best moment of actually watching this crossover was actually seeing Tom Welling, who plays Clark Kent, in the Smallville Earth, the Smallville universe. And it was pretty cool to see how Tom Welling was back in character, and it was amazing. He was actually, as we see him speaking and talking to Lex Luthor, and then speaking to the other characters and speaking to, of course, Lois Lane, you kind of see like the facial expressions, his posture, everything just screamed Jonathan Kent. And it was so cool to basically see where he is. The last episode we actually saw in Smallville was Clark was running upstairs, and he bumps into Lois Lane. She falls, and she opens up like a little box, and there's these rings, right? And then she's like, "Are you ready?" And he's like, "I've been ready for 7 years." So 7 years later, basically, of course, he becomes Superman, and obviously we see him 7 years later, or even longer, in this crossover, and we find out basically that he's given up his powers because he's become a father. He's obviously married Lois Lane. They're living happily ever after, and they're enjoying their lives. And it was pretty cool to see basically what's happened to Clark within those past 7 years. But a lot of people were like, "Oh, it's a bit unfair," or like the way they've done it, because in regards to the Smallville journey, he went through his ups and downs. He basically, what did he do? He finally came to a part in his life where he's like, he, instead of pushing his Kryptonian side, he actually embraced it and he became Superman. So people say, well, after all of that, he's given up his powers because he has kids. He can still be a father and still be Superman. Me personally, I don't think that's the end of the story. I think that's another story that leads up to him actually being Superman again. And for all we know, we can actually see him again when Part 4 and Part 5 of Crisis on Infinite Earths actually airs again, So it was cool, it was fun. I think there was a rumor that Tom Welling didn't actually want to suit up as being Superman, so that's why basically they never actually put him as Superman, literally in that crossover. But they put him on as Clark Kent, and it was so cool to see him, to see that confrontation he had with Lex Luthor. It was hilarious. So Lex pulls out the kryptonite, and Clark's like, takes it, throws it when he's like, Lex is like, but that's kryptonite. He goes, which has no effect to me since I gave up my powers. And then he punches Lex Luthor. It was hilarious. But then it was cool. It was such a well put together Smallville scene that you felt like he was actually watching an episode of Smallville, from the acting, from the dress code, to the posture, to his facial expressions, to the scenery, to the energy, to Lois Lane coming. You literally thought for those 4 minutes that you was actually watching an episode of Smallville. So people, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen from all around the world, that's pretty much my thoughts on Crisis on Infinite Earths. Enjoyed it. Didn't surprisingly, I enjoyed it. I was thinking, is it going to be good? Isn't it going to be great? Is it going to be good? Like, what's up? And I haven't watched any of the other episodes in regards to these TV shows, so I didn't know what was going on regarding to the backstory, but I sort of understood the multiverse thing, so it was pretty cool for me to get stuck in and understand it. And of course, seeing Clark Kent Smallville in there, best thing of my life in regards. That's the best for me. Like, so far, that's the best moment in DC history. Like in regards to DC movies and TV shows, has been the best moment within DC, to actually see the man himself, Clark Kent in Smallville, making an appearance. And I hope we get to see more of him in the following episodes when they air in January. So I guess question of the day: what are your thoughts basically on Crisis on Infinite Earths? Love to know your thoughts. Drop your comments down below. Let me know what are your thoughts also on seeing, Clark Kent Smallville after many years of of Smallville ending. Would you like to see more of him? Was you happy or unhappy in regards to how his story has suddenly kind of ended in regards to him giving up the mantle of Superman, giving up his powers? How do you feel about that? Me personally, I don't think it's going to be the end of Smallville. There's going to be much more stories to tell when him actually becoming the Man of Steel once again. And I hope we get to see that basically in the next couple of episodes of Infinite Crisis on Infinite Earths. Yeah, man. So with that being said, people, hope everyone is well. Of course, literally well as always. Drop your comments down below. Smash that YouTube follow button. Smash the YouTube like button. Smash the YouTube bell button. And for anything and everything, drop your comments down below. Let me know. Peace.